It's the, I think, 16th year or 17th year of our doing business in Indian country, our continuing legal education for the Muscogee Creek District Court, where we give all the continuing education credits that a lawyer would need to comply with Oklahoma Bar. It gives us a chance to discuss and educate about things that someone might need to know to practice within the tribal courts and or represent Indians within the Muscogee Nation area.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here as chairman of the NIGC, but I'm also excited to be here because I'm Muscogee Creek. This conference has been a leading conference in business in Indian country for many years, and so both in my official capacity but on a very personal level, I'm honored and excited to be here. It's important to have practitioners who understand the law. At our agency, we're about sound regulation without inhibiting the entrepreneurial spirit of tribes. So we're credible, sound regulators, but we want to help facilitate as streamlined of an environment for economic development as possible. So we absolutely do our best to balance the public interest without getting in our own way or without getting in the way of the industry. So having so many practitioners who understand the law is important. But part of understanding the law is understanding the historical context of the law. And having so many practitioners who can collectively engage in that public education dialogue to talk about tribes' roles as governments and the roles of Native people vis-a-vis a government-to-government relationship. That's very important on a public policy level and a public education level. So I'm very excited to see the knowledge of everybody in here, but also to see so many folks with an understanding of the government-to-government relationship between tribes and the federal government and state governments.
We try to do it in two phases. One day we have usually what might be called practical tribal court experience and things, the current updates in federal Indian law. It's also important for someone who practices within Indians or tribal courts, but in particular, whether it's a tribal court defense work or prosecution, but also even just working with the tribes in a business situation, that you become familiar with the history and historical perspective of the tribe itself. Because while that is not something which takes a need for knowledge in every instance, it may only be on occasion, but it certainly shades the way that we look at certain actions or perspectives or things that we want to accomplish. And that just as we wouldn't think to practice in federal court without knowing about the Declaration of Independence and the Revolutionary War, you can't practice very efficiently without understanding the background of the tribal people themselves.